This jacket, it's the first time I've worn it since we played Villanova in the NCAA tournament last year at the shoot-around. It was in my closet. I was looking for something to change into because I sweated right through all my stuff. And I pulled this out, and I found $28 in the pocket and our practice plan for the day we played Villanova. So I was like, well, haven't worn this in a while. And last night, I was thinking to myself, well, we're going to be without Jaquan Newton, probably going to be without DeJuan Ewell, probably going to be without Bruce Brown, because DeJuan hurt his foot against Louisville, didn't play, and all he did was treatments on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and today, leading right up to the game. And how he was able to come in, go 4 for 7 from the field, give us 21 minutes on a bad foot, which was just a tremendous effort. Secondly, Bruce showed up Monday morning, and our trainer diagnosed him with tonsillitis, and he started on medication. So I thought, well, overnight, hopefully that'll clear up. Tuesday show up, he was worse. He had 102 temperature. He was feeling awful. And so he had no preparation for the game, he or DeJuan. And when you play a team like Georgia Tech that does so many interesting things offensively and defensively, our preparation was with DJ at the point, Davon at the 2, Anthony Lawrence at the 3, Murph at the 4, and then Abuka Zundu at the 5 with only Rodney Miller to back him up. And so last night I'm thinking to myself, okay, so Rodney will sub for Abuka, Abuka will sub for Murph, Murph will sub for Amp, and I'm like, oh my God. But miraculously, our trainer and our doctors did a fantastic job. Our 2 players, Bruce Brown and DeJuan Ewell, who are freshmen, who at this time of the year, the freshmen normally hit a wall and are drained. Bruce played 37 minutes. DeJuan played 21. So, and against the 9th defense in the country, we shot 55% from the field, 50% from 3, and 81% from the foul line. So an outstanding offensive performance. And then defensively, yesterday, I couldn't have emphasized it more, stay out of foul trouble. We only have 6 scholarship guys. And so when you asked about the free throws, I think they listened very carefully. If you could see, we really just backed off of them a good bit and tried to just crash the boards if they missed.
That stretch in the second half, Coach, where it just seemed like working the ball against that 3-2 or whatever it was, and then just finding ways to go over the top again. I think 4 or 5 trips in a row. How critical was that stretch?
Well, what really was a major concern at halftime and to start the second half, and why we called an early timeout, 4 of our last 7 possessions in the first half were turnovers, rushing. 3 of our first 5 possessions in the second half were turnovers, which led to baskets at their end. And so we call a timeout. We try to settle everybody down. In our next 2 possessions, we had 2 turnovers. So our ball handling was not what we're capable of doing, but when we didn't turn it over, we shot the ball very well. So hopefully we can reduce those turnovers and keep making shots.
Jim, considering kind of the ups and downs from the free throw line to be able to do what they did tonight and the disparity too, how key is that?
And even Davon Reed, who normally is money from the foul line, missed a couple. So we could have even been a little better. But a lot of those free throws came in the last 4 minutes when they were behind and basically trying to catch up and trapping us and reaching and stuff. So the disparity is not really as much as it appears.
How was Abuka?
He cramped. And, in Miami, it's hot. I mean, I was sweating my brains out. Well, I was sweating, but I don't have any brains, so.
Jim, how about the significance of your bench guys, DJ and Ewell? You did 26 points, 4 rebounds, an assist, 2 blocks, and a steal.
Yeah, it's huge. What I said to the guys right before we played NC State, we're playing well, but we need everybody to play well. Can't just have our 3 veterans play well. Our freshmen have been around a long time. Our sophomores got a lot more experience now. We need everybody to play well. And since that time, we played very well against NC State, played very well against Virginia Tech. We played very well against Louisville despite the loss. And I think we played well tonight. So we got to keep focusing on what we want to do, because like tonight, we started in zone. It's the second time. We started against zone against Louisville. We started zone tonight. But tonight, we switched to the man-to-man very early in both halves. Against Louisville, we stayed with the zone for probably 30 or 32 minutes of the 40.
Can you talk about just the disappointment of Jaquan being suspended again for a second year in a row?
You know, I told someone earlier today who asked me about it, and I said, my job as a coach is to mentor these young men and try to set the right example and send the right messages to them. And for the most part, they listen and follow instructions very, very well. But we can't be with them 100% of the time. And they've got to learn to make good decisions when I'm not looking over their shoulder. And if a guy doesn't make the right decision, we need to send a message to him that that's not acceptable in our program. And hopefully the message is heard loud and clear. But they're kids. They make mistakes, whether it's on the court, off the court. And we have to discipline them, not punish. Discipline is about teaching. And punishment is punitive. It's like you're putting somebody down for their behavior. I think more of like you're a young guy, you're 20, 21 years old, you got a lot of life ahead of you. We're going to try to help you learn the difference between doing things right and doing things that aren't quite so right.
Jay's got an opportunity this weekend, obviously, to do something pretty cool.
Amazing.
What do you think just that experience is going to mean to him? And also, what do you think being around guys that he's coached against but doesn't know, what do you think that's going to mean for Brad?
The question is about my son, Jay, who's the assistant coach with the Boston Celtics, who this weekend, the coaching staff, Brad Stevens and his staff, are coaching the NBA All-Stars. Jay will be the head coach of the Rising Stars game, which is on Saturday. Brad Stevens will be the head coach of the NBA All-Star game on Sunday. And their schedule this week, they beat Utah and Portland on the road. They came back, beat somebody at home. I think tonight they're in Chicago and or what? Oh, they beat Philly tonight, and then they're at Chicago tomorrow night. And after the game, they fly to New Orleans and have practice Friday morning in New Orleans with the Rising Stars. He and I spoke early in the week. And I said, you know, guys have coached in the NBA a lifetime and never have had this experience. You get a chance to bring your family. He's got his kids with him, and his son, James, is going to be the ball boy. So I know when I was 10 years old, my brother played in Madison Square Garden, and I was in the stands just watching how really cool that was. So for my grandson to be there, messing with those NBA All-Stars and rebounding for them and talking trash with them, because he's a ball boy with the Celtics, and he's constantly asking them, hey, when are you going to be done? I got to get some shots. So for my son Jay to experience this, he's been in the NBA now, I think it's 5 years, five years, and loves it. And he's going to love being there this weekend. And I asked him about the coaching. He said, well, last year the score was 167 to 164 in the Rising Stars game. Oh.
Like it really stops.
Yeah.
Like what do you think of the job? Or just, I know you have you keep more of the role, you have the second guy on the bench. But what do you think of the job Brad has done?
Oh. You know, Brad Stevens is headed to the Hall of Fame. You see what he did in college? I mean, amazing. He took Butler to the final game 2 years in a row. Who does that? You know, Coach K, Roy Williams. You know, that in itself would put him in the college basketball Hall of Fame. But when he goes to Boston and takes a team that trades away its best players, they got rid of Paul Pierce. They traded Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen had moved just earlier. They got rid of Rondo, and now he's starting over almost from scratch, and he's built it into they're in second place in the East, only behind Cleveland, the world champions. So he's an amazing coach. And the thing I respect and admire, probably more than anything, is his sideline demeanor. He never seems to be influenced by the score or what's going on in the court. He's very poised. And as young as he is, to be able to do that at his early age, you know, he's looking at having a phenomenal coaching career. Thank you.